Real told to sign PSG duo. City's injury list lengthens. Pique enrages Barcelona teammates. Reguilon could be heading back to Madrid, and a transfer roundup all coming up on today's OneFootball Daily News. As I'm your host Angelina Kelly, let's get into it. First up, and former Real Madrid legend Getty has come out saying that Real Madrid need to sign PSG duo Neymar and Kylian Mbappe. Now, obviously, Mbappe has been linked with a move to Real Madrid for what seems like a lifetime now. Obviously, his contract is up in Paris in 2022, and it's looking like Real could be an option. Meanwhile, with Neymar, he of course swapped Barcelona for PSG with that €222 million record deal. But he has also been linked with Real. For me personally, Mbappe to Real Madrid has to happen. It's surely a matter of time before we see him in a Real Madrid shirt. And as I've said on an earlier daily this week, Mbappe to Real Madrid, it would be so mutually beneficial. For Real, they get an amazing creative player that's going to bring them so much on the pitch. And for Mbappe, he gets to be in contention for that Champions League trophy pretty much every year. Although I guess if you think that Real lost last night, you could maybe argue that. But it would be great for him to be winning some silverware that isn't just in the French league. Now, I'll be honest, could I see Neymar on the left and Mbappe up front for Real Madrid? Of course, it would be pretty special. However, I just think that if Neymar's going to be making a move back to La Liga, it's going to be to Barcelona. And I also think you would have Neymar, Mbappe, Hazard, Benzema, Vinicius Jr., anybody else that they may sign. It's just a little bit too busy. I mean, you've got 5 players there that are all very, very talented, and I don't think that they would take it sitting down that they'd have to be rotated, as in, oh, Neymar, you are going to play on the left on Saturday, but then you might be on the bench for the Champions League game. They're not going to take that, are they? So personally, I can't see it happening. However, as I did mention, Real Madrid did lose their opening Champions League game, so maybe signing the duo wouldn't be such a bad idea. Next up, Manchester City. Now, they started their Champions League campaign in fine fashion with a 3-1 win over Porto. And they did see the return of Sergio, who did score a penalty. However, as one injury returns, another injury crops up. It seems that as the fixture list mounts up for City and their footballing season gains momentum, so does their injury list. Last night we saw Fernandinho limp off the pitch. It seems like he's got a muscular problem and could be out for 4 to 6 weeks. This means that he joins Laporte, Kevin De Bruyne and Gabriel Jesus on the list of City players that are currently unavailable. Whilst Manchester City do have a game in hand, they are currently 11th in the Premier League, and it's looking like the current situation of football really is taking its toll on Guardiola's team. They didn't have a pre-season, the fixture list has been jam-packed from last season and this season, and it looks like some of their players are just maybe not fit enough and certainly exhausted. However, this doesn't change the fact that they have got fixtures coming left, right and centre. They've got West Ham at the weekend, then they've got Marseille in the Champions League, Sheffield United, and they do have a fixture against Liverpool on the horizon. Could this mean that Manchester City's title hopes could be affected by all these fitness issues? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now going over to Barcelona, and just when things seem to be settling down, Messi staying for now, players are signing contract extensions, they had a decent win in their first Champions League game. What happens? Gerard Pique has to mess it all up, doesn't he? Not only did he get a red card in their Champions League game, which means he will miss their fixture against Juventus, he also seems to have irritated pretty much most of his teammates. Now, why he is irritated, I say irritated, more like enraged his teammates, it's all down to this contract extension. Now, after their fixture in the Champions League, it was announced on Twitter that 4 starting 11 players had signed contract extensions. This was, of course, as I mentioned yesterday, Pique, Lenglet, ter Stegen and De Jong. Now, this is where it gets interesting. These contract extensions include pay cuts. However, most of Barcelona's first team squad, apart from Lenglet, ter Stegen and De Jong, all signed something to say that they would 100% not be willing to take a salary cut, including Pique. He signed this, and now he seems to have turned his back on the rest of his teammates and he's ended up signing the contract extension and taking a pay cut anyway. Do Barcelona really need this drama at the moment? They've got Juventus on the horizon. Oh, and of course El Clasico this weekend, in case you forgot. It's just looking like more and more drama at Barcelona, and this could really affect things in the team. Next up, it's Sergio Reguilon, and it's looking like he's already going to be making his way back to Real Madrid this summer, thanks to that buyout clause in his Spurs contract. What this means is that Spurs would have to accept an offer from Real Madrid if it hit their pre-agreed price, which is believed to be around 40.6 million. Light work for Real Madrid, surely. And that would mean that he would head back to Real Madrid, and they only just let him go last month. The reason for this seems to be Marcelo. His decline in form has been described as alarming, and Real Madrid are getting pretty worried. The 32-year-old has been such a vital part of the Real Madrid team over the years, but it could be curtains for the Brazilian. It now seems to all be on Ferland Mendy, and Zidane doesn't really prefer Reguilon apparently. He's more for Mendy. Real Madrid bosses and powers that be are more for bringing Reguilon back, so it's going to depend on Mendy and how his form goes this season, and if he can make that left-back position his own. If not, they will certainly be recalling Reguilon. If this does happen, it is bound to be such a blow for Tottenham. You know, he has fitted in so well to Mourinho's team. However, this is Real Madrid, and if they want Reguilon, let's face it, they're going to get him back. Now it's time for the transfer roundup, where we take a look at some of the other news and transfers going on in the footballing world. And first up, Jorginho has got himself an extra job as Thiago Silva's English teacher to help him settle in at Chelsea. Meanwhile, at Manchester United, it looks like they have had to have a little chat with Mason Greenwood regarding his discipline, particularly his timekeeping. Over at Spurs, it looks like out of favour left-back Danny Rose is going to be offered an early contract termination. And finally, Uruguayan midfielder Lucas Torreira has no intention of returning to Arsenal and wants to make his loan to Atletico Madrid permanent. And that's everything for today's daily news. Make sure you guys let me know in the comment section below what you thought about some of the topics we've discussed today. As always, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribing, and check out all the other content that we've got going on here at OneFootball by clicking here and here. And until next time, I will see you guys later.